Where were you when I laid the foundations of the earth? This is the question God asks when explanations run out. For 37 chapters, Job has suffered. He's lost his children, his health, his livelihood, his sense of order. And for most of the book, everyone is talking, Job, his friends, even his critics, trying to explain why this happened. And then God finally speaks, and he doesn't explain anything. Job 38:4 begins with a question. Where were you when I laid the foundations of the earth? Tell me if you have understanding. That's jarring. After all that pain, we expect answers, reasons, closure. But God doesn't give Job a why. He gives him perspective, because suffering doesn't shrink when it's explained. It shrinks when it's reframed. God goes on for chapters, asking question after question. Were you there when the sea was set in place? Do you command the morning? Do you understand how creation holds together? And slowly, the point becomes clear. Job's pain is real. But Job is not the center of the universe. That's not cruelty, that's clarity. Isaiah 55:8-9 puts it this way. My thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways. God isn't dismissing Job's suffering. He's reminding him that limited perspective cannot judge infinite wisdom. And here's what's striking. Job never gets his explanation, but he does get peace. At the end, Job responds in humility. Surely I spoke of things I did not understand. Therefore, I repent in dust and ashes. Job 42:3-6. Not because he was wicked, but because he finally saw clearly. That's why God answers suffering with questions instead of arguments. Arguments try to win. Perspective transforms. Proverbs 9:10 says, "The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom." Not answers, not certainty, humility. And that's where wisdom begins for us too, especially after years of lived experience. Loss has a way of making us demand explanations. God offers something deeper, trust. So when God asks, where were you? He's not diminishing your pain. He's reminding you that the one who laid the foundations still holds everything together.